it's me, Gemma, and I'm here at the Crumbs and Doilies shop in Soho, and we're getting really excited about Valentine's Day, as I'm sure you are as well. And if you're wondering what to make your Valentines for Valentine's Day, why don't you make some little vanilla cupcakes with a secret heart baked inside? I'm just about to make some, so why don't you follow me and I'll show you how it's done. Right, the first thing I'm going to do is bake some pink sponge, which is going to be the heart that goes inside the cupcakes. For that, I've started by greasing and flouring 2 8-inch tins. I'm probably not going to need all of these, but I can't really split this mixture any further. So I've got my mixer here, and to that I'm going to add 200 grams of caster sugar and 200 grams of softened unsalted butter. And then just whack your paddle in. And you want to beat that for a few minutes until it's really pale and white and fluffy. Right, it's gone really pale and fluffy, so it's now time to add the eggs. As you can see, it's completely changed colour. So I'm going to pop that back on a medium speed and crack in my 3 large free-range eggs, mixing quite well between each one. Okay, my batter's starting to take shape and it's all silky smooth and the eggs all mixed in and it's looking really good. And now I need to add the flour, and I've got 150 grams of plain flour and 50 grams of self-raising flour. And I'm going to just sieve that straight into the bowl. And then I just want to mix that really gently, or fold it. You can do it by hand, but I've got a handy setting on my mixer which folds it in really carefully and slowly. Right, that's folded in really gently. I don't want to over-mix it because I don't want to knock out all the air. And then lastly, I've got a tablespoon of whole milk, and I've put half a teaspoon of vanilla extract in there and mixed it really well. And now I need to make that pink. So I've got my food colour paste here. It's a claret, that's the colour of it. And I want to be quite generous with it, so I'm going to take a kind of pea-sized blob and mix it really well into that milk. Once that's all mixed in, you just need to add that to the batter and again, fold it really slowly. You can do this by hand if you're worried. So that's almost mixed through. I'm just going to finish that by hand. So I'm going to scrape all that batter off the paddle and then give it a really careful but thorough mix around, scraping the sides. And once it's all really thoroughly mixed, you need to put an even amount into each tin and then level it with a palette knife. Once these are nice and level, you just need to bake them at 160 degrees C for about 20 minutes, or until they're cooked all the way through. Right, my cakes are out of the oven and I'm going to leave them to cool. And they're going to come back in about 20 minutes. My cakes came out of the oven, they've cooled down now, and I'm just going to take one of them and using a cake leveler, which is this, I'm going to level off the top by taking that crusty bit off the top. You can use a serrated knife for this, just make sure it's nice and long and make sure you do it really evenly. So you can see it's all lovely and pink inside that sponge. And I've got a little heart cutter here, and I'm just going to cut out 12 hearts from the middle of my cake. So just going to leave those to do their thing, just sitting there, and meanwhile we're going to make some cupcake batter. So I'm going to just use a simple vanilla cupcake. First of all, I'm going to sieve 125 grams of self-raising flour, and then add 1/4 teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 125 grams of caster sugar, and sieve that all through. And then to that, add 125 grams of softened, unsalted butter. And then I've got 2 large free-range eggs. I'm going to crack those in and get it mixing. And starting on a slow speed, and then increasing it until it's beating quite well. Beat it for about a minute. It's been beating for about a minute now, so I'm just going to knock it down to the minimum speed. And I've got 1.5 tablespoons of whole milk in this little jug, and I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla extract and just stir that around. And then I'm going to pour that in while it's still going, and then increase the speed and mix it for about 30 seconds. Right, that's had about enough mixing now. So I'm just going to scrape all the batter off my paddle. Give it a little stir around just to make sure that everything's mixed really well. And then using a spoon, as I like to do, scoop an even amount into each case of your cupcake tin here. I've got 12. So once you've done that, then you need to put your secret heart right into the middle of your cupcake. So grab your heart and just push it right into the middle of the cake batter, all the way down to the bottom. So once they're all in, we need to bake them, but first of all, you've probably noticed I've put them all in the same direction. So that's so that you know, because once it bakes and once you covered it in icing, you're not going to know which way around these hearts are, so when you cut into it, it could be any which way. So keep them all in the same line, and we'll ice them all in the same line, and that way you'll know. So now we need to bake them at 170 degrees C for 18 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven, or until they're completely cooked all the way through. So my cakes are out of the oven and they're completely cool. And meanwhile, I made some vanilla buttercream. And if you want to learn how to make vanilla buttercream, then click on the link now. I've popped my buttercream into a big piping bag with a nice big fat round nozzle on the end. And I'm just gonna get on with icing them. Now you'll notice that I've kept all my cakes pointing in the same direction. So the hearts are all kind of lined up vertically, and that's so that I don't lose track of where the heart is, because I'm gonna cover them up in a sec. So here we go. And I've also made some little red sugar paste hearts. I just rolled out some sugar paste and cut them using my tiny little heart cutter. And I'm going to put 2 on the top of each cake. And that way you're going to know if you cut through the middle of the hearts, then you'll see the heart inside. So there they are. Little vanilla cupcakes with a hidden surprise inside, and all that remains now is the big reveal. Look at that! Worked perfectly. Little hidden vanilla-y surprise inside this delicious vanilla cupcake. So 1/2 for you, 1/2 for your loved one, perhaps? Or maybe just the whole thing for you if you're unlucky on Valentine's Day. If you like this video and you want to see more videos by me, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel by clicking on the link up there. I'll be back next week with another recipe for you guys, and until then, enjoy Valentine's Day.